Hi everyone, my name is Max, so you can call me Maxi. And tonight's video, well, because it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, that's when I really record these videos. Hopefully everybody's doing well, and I hope everybody liked my last video that I had. Um, and not sure if you guys noticed, but every single time I do a different video, I tried different background, different Navi, just to kind of match the theme. Um, but yes, I hope everybody's doing well. Um, so in today's video, it's gonna be a bit hard. Well, every video is pretty much hard, but I mean, it's gonna be a pretty heavy topic. So, if you're not really in the headspace to really hear the topic right now, I was just clicking off this video and wait for my other videos, or feel free to comment down below or watch all the way through. But today's just gonna be about vulnerability and also talking about a certain topic as well. So. Um, hopefully everybody enjoys this video. So we're just gonna get right into it. Um, but yeah, anyway, the topic for I guess today's video is talking about uh, being hypersexual. And I feel like a lot of people don't really go into kind of this topic. The reason I'm talking about this particular one today, because I want to be vulnerable here and keep it hot, open, and transparent. And this is something I personally struggle with in my life as somebody who is a follower of Yeshua, or a person who follows the teaching of God. I feel this needs to be talked about more for somebody who struggles with this really, really bad. And even for those, if you don't believe, completely understandable. This might help you too. So, this is something I'm currently dealing with within my life, and how I'm actively making progression to overcome it. So, as the new year follows, one of the biggest or deepest accomplishments I think that somebody can have is in self improvement. And what I mean by self improvement, I mean self improvement in a way that um, enlightens you to become a better, more rounded, well rounded person. Um, and how I'm overcoming this personally is continuing to be in therapy and continuing to pray and continuing to understand triggers and things like that. Um, in this video, I want to give a bit more practicality towards it and how dangerous it is to not deal with this behind closed doors. Um, the reason why this is such an important topic for me is simply because it's ruined a lot of aspects of my life. Um, it's ruined aspects of my life in ways that I can't really talk too deep about on the channel, but I can at least talk enough to where hopefully enlighten somebody who also struggles with this behind closed doors. Um, for example, when it comes to education and grades and even doing things in life in general, um, every second is definitely a struggle. Um, Especially due to traumatic experience as well. It really sucks. It really sucks having to deal with this every single day. And it almost feels like it's not even in your control to even do anything. But over time, uh, it gets better. It does actually get better. In my case, it used to be way worse than what it is now. So I'm blessed and highly favored by God to even be standing here, being able to be more self-soothed and understanding that it is a trauma response and that it is not your fault. That you've had to come up in this way. Um, One of the biggest things that made me realize that this is something I've uh, have to overcome is when it started affecting my relationships with people, or even just the way that I deal with my own self. Um, I think one of the deepest things about it is the fact that it's a root that is so in depth that it seems like it's almost impossible to get rid of, or it's impossible to even um, understand. But realize that the more that you act upon it, the worse things will get. And also keeping that mindset, it's all in here. Keeping that mindset that throughout time you will get better and that you have to be patient as possible on yourself. Now, I'm going to put in a biblical perspective. Um, I think it's in the book of Matthew, I think chapter 15. Do correct me on this. Um, but I think it's chapter 15 where God talks about there's no temptation that's overtaking you except what is common to man. Meaning, there's some version of this out there that everybody struggles with. So the sooner you realize that you're not alone and that there's a lot of people out there who struggle with the same thing, um, because it's common to man, right? So the more you realize that, the better understanding you have, the more patience you have, the more grace you have for yourself, and understanding that every time you have these actions or these urges that come up, you want to understand what is the root cause of it. And in my case, for me, it's being stressed or it's not having a better coping mechanism. It's all I ever knew. For some people, it's all they ever knew in their lives, since they were really young as well. Um, so it's the practicality of it that you must understand. Um, and now the in-depth aspect of it is with therapy and even antis. That's another thing I wanted to kind of discuss within this video is I've recently started taking antis. Um, if you know what I mean, then you know what I mean. um, I'm saying it like that for reasons, but I started taking antis recently, and one of the biggest life-changing things that antis has done for me that it's made me feel again. I was so numb for so long. Um, from dealing with life stressors to disassociation and all these different things. Like I said, this is a lot that people are not willing to talk about this YouTube, so I might as well be one of the first people to talk about it personally. But just to kind of give you guys some insight, and also, the more you speak about your issues, the more that you be vulnerable with people that you can trust. And like I said, I know this is an online platform and people can weaponize it at any time. Personally, I don't care. You can take it for what it is. I don't care. But by me speaking about this, this helps me be also not only seen, but it reduces the hiding factor of it. The less you hide things, the more you're open about it towards people you can trust who can understand you, the better it becomes towards dealing with it in day-to-day basis to realize you're very seen, you're not ignored, and this is valid, right? Um, but getting back onto why antis is very important when struggling with something like this is because it helps rewire your brain chemistry along with having the truth, right? So it's three things really. Um, it's the truth of the word, right? It's the truth of the word of God, what He's saying that no temptation is overtaking you except what is common to men, right? A lot of the time it's a choice, right? And then what I mean by choice is that you have to actively make better choices. Actively make better choices. Um, don't put yourself in these vulnerable situations where you know you're gonna lapse. You know what I mean? So it's actively understanding the truth that it is possible and that you just have to actively make better choices. Whether that's going to draw, whether that's doing business, whether that's focusing on your career, literally anything, okay, other than that. Um, and it's also helpful to have a friend to keep you accountable and as well as keeping you there every single day to be like, hey, don't do that. And come to that person and tell them how you feel, someone you can trust, because it's someone you can trust. Um, to be that vulnerable with. So the first aspect of it is having the truth, which is the word. The second part is therapy, processing it, because you need to obviously process these emotions. And while you're telling somebody trust, especially your therapist, because your therapist is the one that's actually going to be able to like give you some practicality behind these things, or even doing deep trauma work. That's something that I'm currently, overcoming now. Um, but the more work you do, the better your life is going to get. So definitely please try to invest in therapy. It's one of my biggest life game changers that's helped my mentality go from like zero to like 75%. I'm not gonna say 100% because I'm a progressing person, but it's definitely made a huge jump since I started about 6 months ago. Well, I think it's been about 6 months. Yeah, about 6 months. Anyways, um, so the word of truth from God, right? Having that verse in your mind, right? Have an accountable partner. Second is understanding you need to process this authentically, which is what I'm doing now, and that it is just a trauma response, and that to make better choices. And the third thing, this is optional, but for me, this has actually helped me a lot. And I literally just started taking this. Like I'm more focused. This is like the limitless pill for me. Um, so for me, that was taking antis because antis helps balance that out and make you less into those things. It's like it's killing your libido a bit more. So keep in mind this is a trauma response, so you have to be active in researching and doing all these things. It's a whole mess, but um, so it's also actively taking that. And for me, as somebody who also struggles with BPD, um, which I think that'll be a whole nother topic for another video. But somebody who actively struggles with PPD and possibly autism as well, it is not a good combination. So that those meds balance everything out for the most part. So having those three structures, those three pillars of support, and especially that fourth one, which is also optional, but having an accountability partner really takes you to that next level. Um, but I hope this video has helped you guys, or whomever is struggling with this out there, um, and that you are seeing that it's going to be okay and that you are not alone. And that if you don't have somebody special right now, know that what you're doing right now, the work you're putting in, that's leading you closer to having a better relationship, not only with your friends, but even your future partner, your future spouse, and everything else. So, and in my case, um, by me having uh, my girlfriend, she's helped me massive so much. So shout out to her if she ever watches this video. But she's helped me so much overcoming within this journey. She's been very understandable, most understanding woman in the world. So shout out to her. I love you so much. But other than that, I hope everybody has a blessed rest of their night. And I'll see you guys in the next video. So,